Sheet Metal Training Step 2.11, using assemblies and fitting chains with on-screen. We must first discuss the differences between assemblies and fitting chains. We'll start with a fitting chain. A fitting chain is a group of items from the accessory palette. You can chain any of these items together, but it can only be accessory items. It cannot include rectangular ductwork, round spiral pipe or fittings, oval pipe or fittings, or catalog items. A chain simply means that it's going to have a group of items that will be input as soon as you put in the first link. For example, I've built one that starts with a lay-in diffuser. It'll then automatically throw in the flex duct, an adjustable elbow, and a spin-in for me. I'll start with the lay-in diffuser. I'll come over and select the diameter I wish, which is 10. I'm then going to move my mouse on the print where I wish the chain to begin. I'll then click. You'll see that the 4 items are immediately added for me. If we look at the audit trail, we can see 27, 28, 29, and 30 are all 10-inch in diameter, and it's the GRD, adjustable elbow, flex, and spin-in. I can then move my mouse to the next location and click, and you'll see that those 4 icons will then show up. And if you watch the audit trail, we will grow from the 34 items to the 38 items. With each click, it'll immediately add those 4 items. To change it to 8-inch, I would simply go down, select the 8-inch, come up, and click where I want the 8-inch to appear. And it's going to add the 4 items with a single click for me. I can then continue to the next location and keep clicking. The fitting chains, if you remember, are only accessory items. You can only chain the items from this accessory palette together. Assemblies will be made up of items from any item type. We'll begin by discussing assemblies. In your on-screen window, you have an assembly palette located at the bottom. You can see that I already have pre-built a 6-inch connection, 8-inch, all the way up to 14-inch. By selecting the item that I need, for this example we'll use 8-inch, I can then click on the blueprint where I wish to have this item appeared. And within the on-screen options, you can tell it to hide or show the name of the item that is listed. So we could hide the text if we so choose. And by clicking, it'll immediately drop another 8-inch GRD connection. As soon as I go down and select the 10-inch GRD and come up and place it where I wish it to show, I could then move over and click and drop it for all of the successive 10-inch connections. These are using pre-built assemblies and that are ready and available for me to use in on-screen. As you can see, the biggest difference between the two is that assemblies are allowed to be made up of items from any family type. Fitting chains are accessories only. Assemblies will also be represented by one single shopping cart item. And in this case, I have hidden the text to clean up the blueprint. This allows for you to put this item over the top of the register, and it only takes up the space of one tile. Where with a fitting chain, all 4 items are shown to you on screen. Clicking on the assembly will highlight the last item that was used in that assembly. Clicking on any of the individual items in the fitting chain, the audit trail will automatically jump to those individual items. They are individual items that have been added into your zone. An assembly is a list of items that have been added into your zone, one icon representing all of the items on the audit trail. Next, we will discuss how to quick build an assembly from the on-screen panel. The first thing you would want to do is lay down the items that you wish to be in this assembly. I'm going to start by selecting a spin-in and setting my diameter to 10-inch round. I'm then going to place this item on the blueprint. I will then move down and grab the flex duct and place it on the blueprint as well. I'm going to put in an elbow as we need one on top of the register. I'll then select the lay-in diffuser and place it where I wish it to appear. The next step is to grab these items using the multi-select tool and click and drag to highlight them. You can, at this time, right-click any one of the items that's in this grouping and select Create Assembly. You'll then be prompted to put in a name for your assembly. I'll use 10-inch lay-in connection. Click the OK button, and at this time you can enter any notes you wish to have displayed about this item. I'm going to leave the notes blank. Then click OK. If you refer down to the bottom right, you'll now see that assembly is available. When I click on the 10-inch lay-in connection, I can then click where I wish to have this item appear. It'll drop the items, and I can quickly move on and lay them down in the next location. You can now see the benefit of using an assembly, as there's only one icon on the blueprint representing many. These 4 items are all included inside of this one item, and every time I click, it only drops the one icon representing it. Allows for a cleaner blueprint and makes it easier for you to see what you're looking for. Next, we will discuss how to create a fitting chain. To do this, we will need to leave the on-screen program and the takeoff menu and return all the way back to the setup menu and edit the accessory pressure file. All fitting chains must be created from within the accessory pressure file. So we will click Close to close the on-screen window. Then we will click the Job File button on the upper left-hand side. Once we return back to the job file, we can go to the Main Menu tab at the top of the screen. Then select our Setup menu. Going to the top, we can then navigate to the Accessories tab, select our accessory file, and click Edit to have the accessory file open. Once the accessory file opens, we will then select the item that we wish to build a fitting chain on. In this case, we already have one built on the blue supply lay-in diffuser, so let's edit that fitting chain first. Click on the diffuser and go to the bottom of the screen, and you'll see the button that says Edit Fitting Chain. Go ahead and click it, and you'll now see the items that are going to be added in as soon as this item is accepted in the takeoff screen. So starting first will be the adjustable elbow. Then we will put in a piece of flex, and then a spin-in. If we wish to create a new fitting chain on a different item, we can close this one and go to the next diffuser. We can then go down to the bottom and hit Create Fitting Chain, and select the items that we wish to have thrown in with this one. We may want to use a start collar, a loose round volume damper, an adjustable elbow, and a piece of flex. Now all of these items will automatically be accepted the same diameter right after this item is. We can then hit Close Fitting Chain, go back to Menu, and then exit out of the accessory pressure file and return to takeoff to use this item. We will then go to the Main Menu, the Job File tab, and edit our zone to reload the takeoff window. I am then going to open on-screen by going to the Tools drop-down menu and select QuoteExpress on-screen. The on-screen window will open in the last location it was used, and it will then reload all of your duct and fittings. We will then use the new fitting chain that we've constructed. I'm going to go to the accessory palette and select the yellow lay-in diffuser and click where I wish this item to appear after putting in the diameter of 10-inch. I'm then going to click. You'll see that these items are then laid out around my click location, and we can see the GRD start collar all the way through flex has been displayed in 10-inch diameter. And now with each click, my new fitting chain is going to be used. This concludes the walkthrough for assemblies and fitting chains.